This is Don Hoder with the South Point Marcellus Shell Chamber of Commerce, and this evening I have with me Ned Williams, and Ned is the president of the Montour Trail, is that it?
President of the Montour Trail Council, yes, Don.
Good. And just for those that don't know what the Montour Trail is, just in a nutshell, what is the Montour Trail?
The Montour Trail is a 50-mile recreational trail swinging a C-shape in the western and southern suburbs of Pittsburgh, built on the abandoned former rail line of the Montour Railroad. So it's a nice level recreational trail through mostly rural and wooded areas.
I see. And it obviously it passes. Are you a part of the whole trail, or is there a section that's dedicated to just the Cecil area?
I'm president of the overall Trail Council. Each local area has a Friends group that administers certain issues in its area, and there is in fact a Cecil Friends group.
So you're the big boss. If I'm on the trail and there's a dead end, I call you, right?
Well, we're trying to eliminate dead ends as much as we can, and we're making a lot of big connections. And in fact, we made a big one just this past July. We completed 2 bridges over roads right here in Cecil Township. Over Morganza Road and Georgetown Road.
I saw that. Looks great. Those look like expensive bridges. They're really built.
Well, they were about, all told with the design and everything, about $2 million for the 2. But that's pretty good.
Who funds all this?
Oh, well, it was funded with a combination of things. Federal transportation funding, state funding, local share account funding, Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency funding, and even the Montour Trail Council itself kicked in a bunch of funds toward the end, and even the Cecil Friends donated some of their funds. So it was quite a variety of funding sources.
Great. Now I understand that you're talking about, or from what I have heard, there is a plan to bring the Montour Trail into South Point. Is that going to be like a branch?
It would effectively be a branch of the Montour Trail. It's on property that is owned by Cecil Township, and what the Montour Trail Council is working with Cecil Township and with the businesses and others located in South Point to try to firm up the design on this thing. But it's only about a mile away from the main line of the Montour Trail. Is
there a right-of-way to get from the Montour Trail to South Point?
Well, the chosen route lies on land that is owned by Cecil Township. We've identified an optimal route. The optimal route leaves the trail, enters onto Cecil Township property, and goes up to the, it'll skirt the new Klinger Park, and will follow a road that leads into the new development of the reserve. It'll follow that road down to Klinger Road, and from there into South Point, about a mile.
Okay, so this would be an opportunity for people who live in South Point and the 7,000 businessmen that work in South Point to get out their bikes or walk that trail and connect to the greater, the main tributary, I guess you'd call it, or the main route.
Well, when I spent a lot of time, and others in the council spent a lot of time near those bridges right here in Hendersonville also, that we just spoke of a moment ago, we had a lot of riders come by saying, hey, I live in Peters, I live in Bethel Park, I live in Upper St. Clair, and I work in South Point, and I'd love to be able to ride my bike to work. And this will help to address that need.
So for those that are listening to this or watching this video, how can they help to make that come about? How can they help to connect South Point to the Montour Trail?
Well, we're going to begin a process of reaching out to some companies in South Point and trying to put together an engineering study that would identify an optimal route. And once the route is identified, gathering some resources to start to construct it. And some of those are in place, and but there will be more resources needed in order to do the construction.
Great. Well, that's good news, Ned. This is Ned Williams. He's president of the Montour Trail. This is Don Hoder with the South Point Chamber of Commerce. If you want additional information, you can call the South Point Chamber office at 724-873-7777. Is there any other numbers they should call?
I think working it through you guys would be good to start with.
Operators are standing by. Thank you for watching our video, and thank you, Ned.
Thank you, Don. Good evening.
Okay.